Imagine a speedboat exploding in international waters, 11 people killed. This wasn't fiction. It's happening right now. The United States has sharply escalated its military posture near Venezuela. And trust me, this is about much more than drugs. In late August 2025, the United States began amassing a powerful naval force in the southern Caribbean. Missile destroyers, a nuclear submarine, and over 4,500 troops were deployed. Officially, Washington called it a counter-narcotics mission. But many critics across the region call it something else: gunboat diplomacy. In response, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro mobilized civilian militias and prepared his country for escalation. The flashpoint came on September 2, when U.S. forces sank a boat they claimed belonged to the Tren de Aragua gang. 11 people were killed in international waters. Unlike the Biden administration's usual practice of capturing suspects, this time lethal force was used. Legal experts and lawmakers quickly raised alarms over due process, international law, and executive overreach. Maduro blasted the strike as outright imperial aggression. He pointed to the U.S. military buildup, including a nuclear submarine, as proof that this was an existential threat to Venezuela's sovereignty. At the same time, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made it clear, this was no training exercise. America, he said, was on offense. The U.S. then sent 10 F-35 stealth fighters to Puerto Rico and began amphibious training drills, clearly raising the pressure. Venezuela answered with a provocative show of force, flying F-16 fighter jets directly over a U.S. Navy destroyer. Back in Washington, the rhetoric became even sharper. A South Florida congressman openly called for the crushing and elimination of Maduro's regime. Across Latin America, leaders voiced alarm. Colombia's president condemned the U.S. strike as murder if confirmed, while others pushed for dialogue instead of escalation. This operation raises serious legal, political, and ethical questions. Military action in international waters, carried out with little transparency, no independent verification, and minimal congressional oversight, is a major break from precedent. Some U.S. senators, even Republicans, criticized these tactics as dangerous and extrajudicial. Analysts argue this is not just an anti-drug mission but a signal of something larger: the United States testing new thresholds for intervention in Latin America at a time when its regional influence is being challenged by powers like China and Russia. So what's next? Expect more pressure, not less. The U.S. may expand naval deployments, step up drone operations, or even consider special forces missions inside Venezuela. Unless regional diplomacy takes center stage, these tensions could spiral into limited strikes or even a broader confrontation. Congress will likely demand more oversight, and human rights groups will not stay silent. Meanwhile, Maduro is doubling down on militia mobilization and patriotic rhetoric. For him, this crisis could either consolidate his grip on power or backfire if the situation escalates beyond control. We are witnessing a dangerous new chapter: the return of bold U.S. military posturing in its so-called backyard. Washington calls it a war on drugs, but it looks a lot like Cold War-style brinkmanship. The next move could decide whether this region moves toward confrontation or back toward diplomacy. One thing is clear: the storm is just beginning.